Generally, you start out by giving the canvas a wash down. That's done in case you miss some spots while you're painting so that it doesn't come shining out at you white. So you see the wash is with ochre. Then a sketch is done using the brush to apply some of the burnt umber. The main reason why you use burnt umber is because it's a quick dry paint. The color is a quick dry. So after applying the sketch with the burnt umber, then you now proceed to mix the colors to bring the sketch to life.
Okay. So, what are you about to paint?
I'm about to paint a riverine scene with all the houses you have on the stilts, reminiscence of the Barriga setting. So around Barriga you have houses that look like this, so that's just what I want to do now.
Okay, that means sometimes you just go around Lagos to look for inspiration.
Yeah, we go around Lagos searching for deep painting, if I can use that word, and once in a while you find some things that are actually worth representing and you come back to the studio and develop it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some colors on the palette, then mix the colors that we're painting with. I normally paint in oil. I use the palette knife as a means of applying the paint as against the brush, and I normally work from light to dark. So normally I start from the lightest tones, then I graduate to the middle tones, and then to the shades. So normally when you add white to a color, the process is called tint. You tint the color. Now this is a nice blue, but I still want a lighter blue, so I retain some and I add more white to it. The term is called tinting the color. Then I need a darker shade of blue, so I pick more blue. The colors on the palette are colors that are left from a previous painting. Times when I want a tone of the color, I add some gray to it. Anytime gray is added to a color, it's called toning the color. So now I can begin to apply the color. This is a palette knife. It's also called the painting knife. So there are different ways of using it, but the particular stroke I'm going to apply to create this painting is going to be a vertical stroke. One of the advantages of the palette knife is that you can also use it to mix your color while you're painting. What I'm painting right now is the sky. So you see how the colors move gradually from light to dark. So normally I paint by adhering to the overlapping effect, which means that you paint from the rear to the closest object, so that way you have a natural overlap of the houses. If you paint the closest thing to you before the other one, then you probably have to start trying to get out the edges. So I start from the furthest thing away, which is the sky, then I begin to come closer, try and create a meeting point for the sky and the water, which will probably be somewhere here. I rely most times on contrast as my means of achieving balance in the painting. This is a scenery I'm used to painting, so I've solved most of the problems about it a long time ago, so I can easily manipulate it to my desire in any way. So a scenery like this might not take me long then, since the surface is not so large. Probably 2 days, 3 days at the most. Anybody who's been following would have seen the way the sky was done, the way the distant buildings were composed, And this is a typical way of how a normal painting like that will progress from the sky to the buildings, to the waters, to the canoes, and to the passengers on the boat.